Friends, citizens, earthlings, let's talk 2025. Things are tense. Globally, we're holding our breath like a bunch of first graders playing a very high-stakes game of statue. Remember when we thought 2020 was the peak of bad times? Ha! Turns out it was just the trailer. Economic inequality still here. Climate change getting worse. Political polarization spreading faster than a TikTok dance craze. We're living in a world where one tweet can tank a stock market and a cyber attack can cripple a country. It's enough to make you want to crawl under a weighted blanket and never come out. But fear not, my friends, because that's what they want. We need to stay informed, engaged, and maybe slightly caffeinated, because the world is a powder keg right now and the fuse is lit. Buckle up, Buttercup. It's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, let's pinpoint some potential trouble spots on our giant spinning globe, shall we? First up, Asia. The South China Sea is basically a giant game of geopolitical chicken, with everyone flexing their naval muscles. One wrong move and things could escalate faster than a Taylor Swift ticket sale. Then there's the Middle East. It's like a never-ending episode of As the World Turns, but with more oil and fewer soap operas. Iran and Israel are still locked in a tense standoff, and the Syrian civil war continues to be a humanitarian catastrophe. And let's not forget about Eastern Europe. The situation in Ukraine remains volatile, and the relationship between Russia and the West is about as warm and fuzzy as a Putin family photo. Look, I'm not saying these places are guaranteed to explode, but they're definitely worth keeping an eye on, like a toddler who just discovered the joys of permanent markers. Remember when war meant tanks and trenches? Those days are gone, baby. Gone. Today's battlefield is digital and the weapons are invisible. We're talking cyber attacks that can shut down power grids, disrupt elections, and even crash your Roomba. Artificial intelligence is another game changer. Imagine drones making life or death decisions on the battlefield, or autonomous weapons systems that can launch attacks without human intervention. It's like something out of a Terminator movie, but with less Arnold Schwarzenegger and more existential dread. And then there's the whole misinformation war. Social media has become a breeding ground for propaganda and fake news, making it harder than ever to separate fact from fiction. It's like trying to find a reliable source of news in a sea of clickbait and conspiracy theories. The future of warfare is scary, folks, but like a bad haircut, it's something we're just going to have to deal with. War is expensive, and I'm not just talking about the cost of bullets and bombs. Global conflicts disrupt supply chains, trigger inflation, and send stock markets into a tailspin. Remember the Great Recession? Yeah, that was fun. In today's interconnected world, an economic shockwave in one region can quickly ripple across the globe. A trade war between the US and China, for example, could send shockwaves through the global economy, leading to job losses, higher prices, and a whole lot of economic uncertainty. And let's not forget about the human cost. War displaces millions of people, creates refugees, and leaves behind a legacy of trauma and destruction. It's like that time you tried to make DIY furniture from IKEA, messy, frustrating, and ultimately soul-crushing. So, yeah, war is bad for business, and by business, I mean the entire planet. We need to find a better way to resolve our differences. Like, maybe we can settle our disputes with a giant game of laser tag? No, just a thought.